yet. It's working on that. Excellent. So now it's working. So thank you so much for joining us today. This is Values plus AI equals Impact. My name is Rhonda Bowen, and today is February 12th, 2025, and it is the 7 p.m. Berlin session, 1900. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, the way we do this is that we all have a chance to say who we are, why we're here, what we're doing in our lives that have something to do with values is something we all share. But the other thing is, what are we looking for with AI to see if we can find a way to increase our impact, which is what we're hoping that AI will help us do. And once we've all had a chance to talk about that, then we'll find something that we hope everybody would be interested in looking at. I'll do a brief demonstration, and then we will talk about how that could impact all of us and what that means. So I'm going to start with Charles because he can get this over very quickly. He's done this so many times, but then everybody knows how it works.
Yeah, we've been doing these sessions since, well, actually, the first prototype was World Values Day last year in October last year, and then Rhonda very generously offered to keep on doing them because they work very well. And so I'm getting used to them and getting to know a little bit about AI. I'm for those, I think I know most of you, but not all. So I'm the global coordinator of World Values Day. I'm based in London, in England, and I'm interested in AI really, primarily which I'm going to use in various different tools to help my work with World Values Day, with values generally, and related projects that I'm involved in. And I think it's already making a difference to me, but I still am very, very tentative and know very little and still discovering. There's so much to discover anyway. So that's really where I'm coming from. That's why I'm keen on that. And I've got one or two areas I like to sort of focus on, but we'll come to that later.
Thank you very much. Gwen, you're next to me and you're unmuted, so you're a good natural person to go next.
Hello. So hello, Rhonda, and hello, Charles, and everybody. I've known Charles for many years, and I've been involved with World Values over the years, and other things. So I lecture in social work at the University of Winchester, and I've also been heavily involved in girl guiding all my life, really, but and education. I'm interested in AI because in social workers are entitled to supervision, and supervision is really important for critical reflection, particularly in decision making, etc., and best interest outcomes for individuals. But in schools here in the UK, teachers are not entitled and don't get supervision unless it's something that the school commits to. And we have got, we've got increasing problems with behaviour management in schools. And this is not something which is new. And Charles, we know about this. We've known about this for many, many years. And that's what the Human Values Foundation is all about: social emotional learning, personal social emotional development. But anyway, I digress, because basically what I'm interested in, I really believe, I've always had this idea about trying to create some kind of personal bot. So it's about using AI to create some kind of online safe. This is about trying to develop AI for a good use, to actually help teachers and social workers and anybody who's engaging with the care of individuals across the lifespan, and providing them with space to have supervision and to benefit from supervision.
Thank you, Gwen. Wonderful. Giving us good insight. I'll say George. Yeah. Instead of trying to pronounce it. Instead of trying to pronounce it in Portuguese. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I hope I didn't make you feel that.
No.
Oh, whatever you prefer. It's all good.
Right.
Yes, my name is George Sousa. I'm professor in the Faculty of Education at the University of Alberta here in Edmonton, in Canada, for just in case. Can't take things for granted. And I just stumbled upon this session, actually. I was in a session held by the Canadian Worker Cooperative Association. And when I was signing up for them, this popped up. And so I've been particularly interested in the matter of values from an educational perspective. So I've been sort of playing with the idea, and it's not new, but the idea of a pedagogy of social value. And my work is primarily within the social economy and community development, or more broadly, the solidarity and social economies. So I'm more interested in how do we actually prepare people to not only practice, but to understand. So we often feel that values, in my experience, will emerge rather than how do we actually plan for people to experience whatever value they're interested in. And it's a challenging topic within the world of cooperatives in particular, and nonprofits. It's just an assumption that I feel is incorrect. So I think for education, we have a huge role, but we haven't often taken the role we can. In AI, in my current role in the Faculty of Education, I'm just increasingly interested in how can we develop better use from a teacher preparation or educator preparation perspective on the usage of AI, not necessarily the practice, but really try to step back for our student teachers and to actually work with their own learners to make use of this technology. It's with us, so we have to learn to work with it. And I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Jenny, you're next on my screen.
Okay, I'm Jenny Hass, and I live in Utah in the US. And my work has been primarily in leadership development and coaches and consultants helping leaders develop. My passion project is kindness from the heart and helping to shine a light and turn hearts and minds to kindness, gratitude as well. But both being very, very important values to me, as well as incredibly important at this particular time, and sometimes very sadly not evident here in the US, as everyone has probably picked up on. And so I joined today. My interest in AI, first of all, it scares me. And I'm realizing more and more that this is something I need to learn more about, and because there's no turning back. And I know that there are lots of wonderful things that it can do, and lots of not so wonderful things that it can, be a part of our communities and civilization. And so one of the areas I'm interested in is how do we help AI inform its values in ways that we want, to represent who we are as a community, how we want it to help us, move into the future. So how do we help inform the values of AI? And then I'm also have signed up to take a course on how coaches in leadership development are using AI in their coaching practice. So I'm just curious and know that I don't even have enough knowledge to be dangerous. I'm on that side of things. So I need to get through the dangerous side and maybe a bit more informed side and see where it can really provide value and not be so afraid of it. And not feel like I need to be such a purist and, I don't want to use AI to help me write something because that's not that's not coming from me. So how do I balance all of that? So I'm very curious, and thank you so much, both Rhonda and Charles, for providing this opportunity for us.
Okay, thank you for being here. I'll say hi to Tiz, but I will first pass to Anne, and then Pam, and then Tiz, just so you know. Okay, thank you.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm an associate I can talk. I'm an associate professor at a faculty of education. So what Gwen and, is it George or Jorge? Said resonates deeply. I teach at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. There you go. And I don't think we're out ahead of AI at all. I think we need to figure out what our values are so that AI can, as Jenny said, reflect what we need it to reflect. And so I need to learn more about that. Like the other two, Gwen and George or Jorge, we have teacher candidates in the field and we can't supervise them as well as we would like to supervise them. It's a good thing to look at how maybe AI could augment that supervisionary role, and also support the candidates when they're out in the field as well. I think we have a new tool on the market. I don't know how to use it at all. Well, I've played with it. That's it. I've played with it. I ran a retreat 2 weeks ago that had to do with burnout and AI. How's that for a combo? And AI is the thing that everyone's talking about and nobody seems to be learning enough about. So that's sort of me.
Great. Thank you very much, Anne. Pam, you're next.
Okay, thanks. This is my second time being here. I'm a fundraising and a communications consultant in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I really am fascinated with AI. I, like probably Rhonda, am trying to learn as many tools as possible, and I use them. And I believe I've become a better writer because of AI, because when you're writing from you write it out first. You cannot, it's like garbage in, garbage out. If you're expecting AI to come up with your ideas and write it out and then post it, then it's not really a good tool. But if you write in your tone and everything else, but you use AI to assist with your writing, I know I've become a better writer because of it. And so I see that those tools are really great in my work. Fundraising, we use a lot of AI tools for client management systems. Right now, I'm doing a whole series of posts in social media and in my blog on donor care. And in every single element of the donor care series, values is number one. It's always about values. And I think if we do everything through a lens of values first, for me, working with donors or working with organizations, you get to know people in a deeper way than if you try to do the other stuff without even starting with core values or what they're interested in. So I think that this is a wonderful forum for us to get better educated about AI and share how really values play an important part, not only in our work, but also in understanding AI and using AI. So I'm a big AI nerd, maybe. I love to try new tools. I use it for creativity. I can't think of one instance where I don't use it at some point in the process. And I see it as being really helpful. But I know that in some cases there are dangers, and it must be a real challenge for people teaching at university to be able to determine whether the papers you get are, from the minds of the people that write them. So I know that there are challenges there, but I know that I'm really happy with what I put out, it really is helping me evolve in being a better thought leader and a writer. So I'm a keener.
Thank you so much, Pam. Wonderful. Nice to see you again, Tiz. Glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
My second time here, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I am a consultant over many, many years and I meld together system thinking with values and culture assessment and risk and priority analytics, all in the with the intention of making business better. AI, I guess professionally, our little team is in the midst of teaching an AI tool our frameworks, if you will. for our internal use with all of the caveats that come with where's the boundary of protection there. But that's and I think the path we're trying to get to is if we've got something that really can make things better, how do we look at having a broader reach? How do we make it more accessible? Because one of our constraints is the limit of our own individual capacities, sort of thing. So how do we put more good and more useful out there, and how might AI assist with that? It is a world that is still extremely foreign to me. This last week, I've learned a little bit about Launch Lemonade and oh gosh, what was the other one? Pickaxe and stuff like that as potential platforms to extend our reach. Again, all of it is still very, very foreign to me. On a personal level, I have minimal exposure with AI. I'm a hands in your dirt garden and flower person. I like real here, tangible now kind of stuff. But I've been creating a little friendship with AI interactions and have enjoyed how something that might have been an internet search is actually a lot more intelligent conversation of my thought process of what I'm really seeking out there. And then what it brings back to me. And I like to have these little scolding sessions too. Well, why didn't you mention that in the first list that you gave me? Oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of fun to have those interactions. Anyway, one of the things that I am interested in, and it's because of a lot of flurry of information and a special friend who also is very much into data security, misinformations, all that kind of stuff, and not specifically to AI. Her focus is very much in educating people about how to notice things that aren't real, things that are trying to hook you into one way and going another. So I just wanted to put out there that in this little world of AI, I'm interested in hopefully also getting a little bit of a sense of what we need to protect ourselves from. What do we need to be aware of? Yeah, anyway, I'll leave it at that because, especially for me, when I feel ignorant about something and I start to engage with it and decide what the positives are for me, I want to be aware that, oh, but if you go down that path, here's all the falsehoods or here's the risks. There, that's it.
Cool. Thank you, Tiz. Well, such an illustrious group here today. Absolutely wonderful. So glad to meet some of you for the first time and to see people I haven't seen in a long time as well. So this is really great. My background is that I am not an expert. I am one of those people who had the good fortune last year to attend the United Nations AI for Good Summit in Geneva, Switzerland in person, and saw from 80 different exhibitors all the wonderful things that are going on, plus went to all the sessions and could see all of this lab. I will be doing again this year in July, and have just been taken aback by how wonderful things that I'm so happy that I'm alive at this point in the world and the universe, because we're getting the chance to do things that we've never been able to do before. And that has always happened throughout history. It's not new in that sense. It's just that we're at a time when it's really going to make a very big difference, as many of you have said already. And I find there are the camps where, as Jenny mentioned, she's sort of apprehensive about things and doesn't really know so much yet. And there are a lot of people who are very much in the fear side of things, which I think is a terrible place for people to be. On the other side, we have all the people who are sort of the techie hype. It's all perfect. It's all wonderful. That's also not the right place to be. And what I've seen is there's this place in the middle for the rest of us that's missing. And that's what I want to give here, a place for us to actually come, to have a safe space to talk about things, but also to say, these are the things that bother us. These are the things we want to get into more deeply. We host this once a month. So we have 3 sessions every Wednesday, the second Wednesday of the month. And we have an opportunity. You'll be getting an email tomorrow giving you the opportunity to join a group that's like Facebook, but not on Facebook. It's a private group that I pay for, so your data stays in the group. You don't have to worry about that. And we also have the chance to exchange then while we're in the group. So you'll see all the other videos we've done, all the things we've referenced until now. We have a database for materials. We have a database for people. If there's something special you're looking for, you can put that in your members card, and people then can come and talk to you and see about what you're looking for. But what we try to do today when we're in a live session is come up with one idea that we think we'd like to look at more as a group, and I would pull up some kind of a tool that you would think you would be interested in finding out more about, and we actually walk through it and see how it works and what it gives us when we're trying to do that. So does anybody have a particular idea of something they would like to know more about, or a tool that they've heard of but haven't had a chance to use, or something like that? Because if so, we try to cater to those ideas first of all in the group, and if not, I have a huge list of things that I can pull something up if nobody has a request. And don't be shy, just go ahead and unmute and say something, and we'll see if we can find something that will help everyone.
I'm good. You always come up with something interesting, and so I'm open if other people don't have any particular suggestion or challenge.
Okay.
Although maybe Anne's idea about what the monitoring tool that you were talking about, is there anything like that? She was talking about in education how to monitor students. I think that's what you said, their work outside. I got that wrong, Anne?
Well, and I picked that up also from Gwen, because that I understood was a challenge they were having there also. And with manpower being low and geography being a massive, how do you get support systems out for individual candidates and individual kinds of placements, be those medical, nursing, be those whatever they are? All of those people that have work-based placements are in unique settings that have to be reported back in some fashion, recorded, and are entitled to feedback. But how do we harness AI perhaps to facilitate that process? I don't know. It's just Gwen actually inspired the question. I hadn't thought of it before, but I thought it was a good one, so I just re-emphasized it. So thanks, Gwen.
Yeah, thanks, Anne. I think supervision is the word, really.
Okay.
And it's professional supervision, isn't it?
All right.
Yes.
Let's look at this, because I don't do anything with professional supervision, so I wouldn't have any personal ideas about that. But this is when you get the email and you go on the platform, this is in here all the time. This is a system that when I started looking at it a year and a half or 2 years ago, there were 13,000 tools on it. Now there are 31,000. And every time I go in, there are more. So if you don't know what you're looking for, or you have this great idea but haven't heard of anything, this is the place I always go first. And this is just called there's an AI for that.com. And as I said, tomorrow in the email, you'll get all of those things. So for you ladies who were talking about this, Gwen, Anne, anyone else who'd like to chime in, what should we call this thing that we're looking for? Because I'm going to type it in here, and we're going to see what this platform gives us as options. So I'm hearing supervision from Gwen, but can we give it something a little more specific so we get a better choice of what you're looking for?
You could look for critical reflection.
Say it again, Gwen.
You could look for critical reflection.
Okay, but you're going to I think there's going to be an AI tool for critical reflection. Okay, now we're just going to watch. I have no idea. My first time. This is live. Okay. So now what it does is when we put in our idea that we want, I see here mental health therapy. I see a number of tools that are coming up here, and you see that often if someone has used it, they can actually also give it some kind of a review or a rating. So you can actually see what somebody has said about it as well.
There's a journaling one that looks interesting.
Yeah. So you have lots and lots of options in here, and you can see not only what's going on, a lot of them also tell you, if you click on one, you just said journaling. Let's just take a look. I have no idea. I don't know any of these tools, but when you open a tool, you get the chance to be taken there and use it right away. And notice it says AI-powered journaling for deeper self-reflection, Gwen. So that is going in the direction of what you were saying.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about how to use the tool, what keywords it goes under. And the thing I love about this is 11 alternatives. So if this one isn't what you wanted it to be, or you're not sure, there are also recommendations, and there is information in here and ways that you can vote for it, copy the link, or save it here. This is the free version, as you see, of this tool. Okay, so you don't pay anything to use this. It is giving you insights if you'd like to be notified when new things happen with this. This one doesn't have any ratings yet, okay? But if you used it and wanted to rate it, you can do it here. So for any tool, for any search you would put in at the top, these are the kinds of insights that you then get. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Or is there something else we should search for as long as we're here? I'm just looking at the clock because we had a wonderful introduction round, but we set this up for half an hour. I can be here longer than the half an hour, but if those of you who have to leave, we understand that as well. Tomorrow, you will all get an email with everything in here, how to get into the Compolium group where you can talk about these things, and where you'll get replays of all the videos, et cetera, as well.
Would we put professional supervision in?
Of course, we can do that.
Did you want to add remote, or is that?
Ooh, that's a nice cabinet. Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll just go back and we'll add that. See if it does something different. Oh, medical documentation. Okay. Travel itineraries, job interviews, research assistants. Many, many different kinds of things. Preparation, virtual employees.
That's sort of remote working tools.
Yeah.
No, rather than remote supervision.
A virtual office.
So how does this work, Rhonda? I mean, obviously, I mean, I love the fact this is like a database, isn't it? And you can just go onto it and you can search for anything. But of course, as you're putting in ideas, it's gathering those ideas as well, isn't it?
Of course, because it has to give ratings about how often people search for things, et cetera, et cetera. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And notice you didn't find the tool you were looking for. Either you can ask for something, or it's even, I have no idea how this works. I've never thought about creating my own tool, but they're giving you an opportunity to do that as well. Oh, here, worksite safety monitoring.
Ooh, that's close.
Okay. Not exactly what you folks were thinking about, but okay. Accountability coaching also has something to do with that, but not exactly. And of course, it depends. Remote work guidance. Look at the way they talk about it. It's a nice thing also when you look at these, because you see the words that other people are using. So here's psychologist supervision.
Remote task management, remote team management. Both seem to be relevant, don't they?
Yeah, remote team management. Can you open that one? Just,
of course.
See if that's.
There we go. So it's just here with GTP. It's not anything else that's listed for that, but that's okay. These are the ones that are paying for ads over here, obviously the featured ones. But it's interesting. I like to go on and spend time just to see when I write something, what are the things that are popping up, that other ways of people seeing that.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of insights also just looking at the lists of other things, like remote work guidance. I don't know if that's something that's close to what you're thinking of. For example. So lots and lots and lots of opportunities. And as I said, it's a very easy name. There's an AI for that, .com. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and ask how you think now that you've seen some of these things. Do you still have questions? Do you have other good ideas, other insights you'd like to share?
I'd like to find some time to have a look at that, really.
Yeah. Come on these Wednesdays, because at least once on a Wednesday we go into this, just because somebody's asking for something that I personally don't have any experience with, like this today. So that's always nice, because we always end up coming back to this from time to time. And as I said, it changes every time I go in. There are more tools in it, so it's always growing. And of course, it's just giving you an option to try things without, making a big step. Or if you just want to say, inform me later or something, you have all the options with that as well, which I think is great.
Rhonda,
Yes,
on the conference that you were at, in I think you said Switzerland.
Geneva. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Are there recordings that are accessible?
Yes. When you get the messages tomorrow and you go into Compolium, we have all the links to that as well. You can become a member of this without going there. You don't have to be there in person. You can also follow the entire thing online if you're interested. So I know people last year who didn't attend in person, but were watching things online. They also have what they call their neural network. And if you become a member of that, you put in the preferences of what you're looking for. I get emails at least twice a week that says, this week we're having this session based on your preferences, you may like to attend, and gives you all the information. So it's not just something that happens once a year live when it happens in Geneva, but it happens all year round. And once you put in the preferences of what you're interested in, it sends you things that during the year that you might be wanting to see. And as I said, if you go in and sign up for it now, you can sign up at no charge. Also to go in person, if you're willing to sit in the regular seats and not in the VIP seats. And you can sign up to go in person, or you can sign up to watch the whole thing online. And the link will be in there. So you'll see I have the link from last year and the link from this coming year in July, if you're going to be in Europe.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other ideas or questions or things we can help you with today?
I think I'm good, and so I'm going to leave. So
okay. Well, thank you very much.
Nice seeing everybody.
Okay.
Please see you again.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pam.
Okay, bye.
I'm going to be leaving too. Thank you very much. Apologies for showing up late.
No, that's absolutely no problem. Just so you know, I've put something in the chat. I've been asked to speak at a tech summit tomorrow and to do something sort of similar to what we're doing here today. I just met this lady online. I don't really know exactly much about how this works. This is the link she's given us to let you know about that. It's in the time zone for people in the US. It's like during the middle of the day, like from 10 in the morning or something. There are just a few of us speaking. It's a small event, but there may be other insights from other speakers that may be interesting for you as well. And I'm just putting that out there for you to have an option if you'd like to join us tomorrow as well.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Tiz.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, George. Okay.
Thanks, George. Nice to meet you.
As well.
I've got to run too.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good to see you, Gwen.
Yeah.
See you too. Nice to see you too, Charles. Just like everything, it's just time, isn't it? Needing really being able to invest time on these ideas.
Ultimately, it's a time saver, isn't it? I mean, I have to say, using even just something basic like, well, it's not very basic, but Chat GPT or Claude or it just does save a lot of time in the end. So it's worth investing a bit of time up front, I think.
Yeah.
There's also getting your head around doing things completely different way that could have time saved, and ask, you mean I don't have to put these in the sink? I can put them in this machine called the dishwasher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was the earlier era of it. So, it's getting used to asking things in a new world.
Yeah.
Well, and the nicest thing about it is once you get used to it, you can get to the point where when you don't know how to ask, you can come up with prompts that are, tell me how to ask you about this. And it will tell you back what is the best way to ask. And when you then ask it that way, it gives you the answers that you want. So it learns with you. And I've seen videos online where somebody actually uses in the speaking mode, in a phone, and actually talks to this and gets coached by the AI. So that's an option at the moment. And the other thing that's now coming out is what's called agents. And I watched with Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI for ChatGPT, he and 3 of the people on his team showed how agents did things like, this is my shopping list. And you give this to the agent and it goes through and it finds the supermarket and it knows how to pay with your credit card and it sets up the delivery time and the person does nothing. This is all going on by itself.
Amazing, but a bit
You
worrying.
get your supermarket, your groceries, whatever you are, get them delivered then to your house.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, do you remember, Charles? Do you remember there was back in the old days when they were setting up the .coms and people were doing that whole thing about doing shopping for people. that predates the online shopping that we can now do, and all the Ocado vans and things.
It's too much hassle really for anyone to use it, but now it's
yeah.
COVID sort of forced us into it.
Well, and I mean, the thing with anything like this, when you say, are you washing your dishes by hand or are you washing them in the dishwasher? If it's 2 days before I'm going away and I only have a few dishes, of course I don't put them in the dishwasher. I use, what's appropriate for the time and the situation and what's going on. And I love the fact now that we have the opportunities to still do things that the way all of us, I would assume we're all more or less the same age, have always done things versus the way younger people, when I talk to people sometimes, I spoke to someone the other day and said, a long time ago when my first GPS broke down in my car, and the gentleman who had sold me the car hadn't put this in, he had had it done by another company. And he said to me, oh, well, you'll have to go to this place in this city and this is the address. And I said, oh, thank you. And he said, how are you going to get there without the GPS? I said, I have a thing called a map.
Yeah.
It's on paper and I know how to read it. And if you give me the address and I know this city, I don't know this street, but I know the city, I will open the map and I will put it on the seat next to me and I will drive there. And yes, I will get there. And he was like, oh, but I know lots of young people I talk to, they don't know what a map is and they wouldn't know how to go if they don't have something in their phone or whatever they're using. So, it's a big, those, I think a lot of us are in a better position than we think because we do know how to do things, let's say the analog way, and now we're learning to do them the digital way. And I think that's a wonderful position that we're in at the moment.
When I lived in London, I had that thick A to Z London in my knapsack wherever I went, because that
I still got one in my car, in the door of my car somewhere, which I've never thrown out, but I haven't used it for about 20 years.
Well, it might be good to hang on to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Who knows what might happen one day.
Yeah, exactly.
I still like to teach young people how to wash dishes, I'm afraid. It's incredible. You take young people away on camp and they don't know how to wash dishes. It's like, where's the dishwasher? You're the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Oh, what does that mean? Yeah. Anyway, I've got to go. Rhonda.
Yes.
You all have to go. Okay, that's very good.
I don't all have to go. I just have to go myself.
Okay.
So
I have I have
And
to go
I
too.
should go also.
All right,
because it's
wonderful.
really
Then we're all
lovely.
going at the same time. That
Thank
is
you,
great.
everyone.
Really appreciate it. Tomorrow you'll be getting the email with all the dates, so
Yeah.
you don't have to worry
Thanks.
about it.
That's really
Yes?
kind. Thanks, Rhonda.
Okay. All right.
And
Thank you so
thank
much.
for your time.
Big exception.
Okay.
Bye. Speak to you again,
Bye.
Anne. Thank you. Bye.